Good morning. It's a sunny morning here in Barrio Capitolio, Pasig City, and I do hope it's also sunny wherever you are. And that's as far as I will take the greeting because afternoons in the Philippines now are so unpredictable, especially with thunderstorms. However, for today, September 18, 2023, Monday, my prayer is that you are all doing well and looking forward to the week. And today we are going to have a double feature. First, we will be speaking with an official of the Department of Information Communications Technology regarding SIM card registration, because there is a plan that you will be limited to only 3 SIM cards for the 3 in the respective telcos, so for one for each only. And of course, there will be a lot of documentation, etc., which is all good considering na bumabaha ng SIM card pag nanghuhuli ang mga police at NBI, etc. So after that, we will be speaking to 2 gentlemen who represent the IEs, hindi po ET ha, IEs, the industrial engineers, the field of industrial engineering in the Philippines, who will be celebrating an anniversary next month. So let's find out ano baga yang IE. What is an industrial engineer's life all about? Because some of you feel or believe that if you take up IE, that means ano ba yun? Intentional employment. Kasi yun lang daw. But I believe our guest today will debunk that and tell you that it can be a good livelihood, good business, and good career. Anyway, let's start by an expression of gratitude, thanking God for all our blessings. And of course, we here in Agenda would like to thank you for being subscribers of Cignal TV, for being viewers of One News, and of course, watching Agenda on channels 8 and 250. Maraming salamat din po. Thank you very much to PLDT for their home fiber optic internet kung saan man laging naaasahan. Okay, because I am a strong supporter of PLDT home fiber optic internet because wala po akong problema sa kanila. Okay? Wherever I go in the country, that's the first thing I ask. Meron ba ditong PLDT home fiber optic internet? And if they don't, I tell them, you should get it. Anyway, thank you, Mr. Marco Borlongan, for your support. And let's now go to our daily starter. Gab, if you would, can you please roll out the daily starter? And I picked up today's daily starter from a TV show titled Ted Lasso. It's on Netflix. But the quote is actually the quote used was taken from the movie Harry Potter, spoken by Dumbledore. It is our choices that reveal who we really are more than our abilities. Okay? A lot of people think that abilities define a man or a person, etc. Oh, ang galing niya sa basketball. Oh, mayaman siya, magaling siyang kumita ng pera. But actually, it is not abilities but your choices. Do you choose to be a good person? Do you choose to be a person who helps others? Do you choose to be excellent in your work? Are you a person who fears God, etc.? Your choices of what you do, the decisions you make, where you go, etc., determines who you are, not your abilities. Marami pong taong maabilidad. Sabi nga namin sa UP, dalawa lang ang estudyante, yung intelihente o yung maabilidad. Pero maraming maabilidad. There are people with lots of abilities but no morals, maabilidad pero puro lang kurakot ang ginagawa. So your choices determine who you are, not your abilities. Okay, let's now go to the front page of the Philippine Star, September 18, 2023, Monday. And the headline is 40 million rice seized in warehouse raids. The Bureau of Customs, along with other government agencies, seized an estimated 40 million worth of suspected palaang, okay, rice from Cavite and Las Piñas, okay. While that is commendable, okay, the question is, how does that affect the actual price of rice? And nako po, ang daming ginawang raid ng customs na suspected smuggled cars, yung pala pang show and tell lang. So unless, and 40 million, ladies and gentlemen, is a drop in the bucket considering the amount and value of rice that we import in the country. We like to congratulate whoever conducted the raid, but I do hope it is a raid that really makes a difference and will prove to really be smuggled rice. At the top of the front page in the header, DepEd to pilot K-10 curriculum in 35 schools. Okay, yan po. This is in reaction to all those studies, findings, opinions, analysis that the DepEd's K-10, K-12 is not as effective as we would want it to be, or in response to the fact that there are still a majority of students who can't make it all the way to 12. Kumbaga 10 pa lang, laglag na sila because they can't afford it and they really can't, their families can't sustain it. So we will find out, but that unfortunately is the sad state of affairs in the country. Politicians make suggestions, push agendas that are not backed by science and proper research. Yan po. So, back to the drawing board and now testing again. Sorry if my Monday seems to be very opinionated. I'm sorry, but we have to call it for what it is. Meantime, the big photo on the top of the Philippine Star is a photo of the long line of students, law graduates, mga pumasa ng degree, who have degrees in law, waiting to enter the bar examination testing center at the University of Santo Tomas in Manila. On the right of the photo, insert shows security personnel inspecting the belongings of the examinees, while in the lower right, a father hugs his daughter before the exam in San Beda College. Story on page 10. Okay, yan po. Siguro ang bulong ng tatay, anak, pumasa ka. Ang laki na ng gastos natin. Kailangan natin ng abogado. Anyway, yan po, as some academicians have pointed out, we need less lawyers. We need more scientists. We need more medical health experts and agricultural experts. So anyway, we wish them well, but at the end of the day, there's so many of you, not everyone will make it to the finish line. Government, meantime, has been urged, okay, to assess the damage in the West Philippine Sea corals. The Fishers Group, ang bansang lakas ng kilusang mamamalakayan ng Pilipinas, yesterday urged the government to conduct further damage assessment of the Rosul, Iroquois Reef after the AFP aired its suspicion that Chinese militia might have harvested the corals from the area of the West Philippine Sea. Okay. We hope we have the technology and the means to do something about it, or else we will simply have to file yet another protest. Meanwhile, the Department of Agriculture begins holiday monitoring of agri prices. The DA and other concerned government agencies are closely monitoring the price movements of agricultural products in the markets amidst the expected upward trend in the cost of food products during the Christmas season. Okay. Ayan po. So they are going to look into it, monitor it, but what can we really do about it? Gas prices pala ang lumilipad na ang presyo ng crudo at gasolina, etc., etc. So good luck if you want medyo grow your own vegetable na lang and raise your own chickens, yung free range. Baka sakaling meron kayong lechon manok at gulay para sa Pasko. But otherwise, the reality is food prices has just gotten out of control in this country because the person who is supposed to be controlling it is currently traveling. Okay, Pope expels Samar priest for minors sexual abuse. Ay salamat. Pope Francis recently defrocked a priest belonging to the Diocese of Borongan, Eastern Samar on allegations of sexual abuse involving minors. Notice is hereby given that the Holy Father Pope Francis has dismissed from the clerical state Pio Cultura Aklon of the Diocese of Borongan. Okay, Pio Cultura Aklon of the Diocese of Borongan. The diocese said in the Facebook page, he, Aklon, is therefore no longer a cleric and cannot exercise priestly ministry in the church. Kung totoo po yan, NBI, PNP, bisitahin nyo na yung mga biktima. Let us put a stop to this and punish. Kasi if the Pope Francis himself is already taking action, dapat nakulong na, di ba? Okay, meanwhile, children check out the Chikiting booth at the Manila International Book Fair 2023 at the SMX Convention Center in Pasay City. Ayan po, no? At least may mga libro pa. Thank you, Lord, because that is such a sad state. Although when I went to National Bookstore recently, meron na ulit mga libro. Thank you. I hope we continue with that trend. Huwag kayong magpatalo sa internet kasi hindi magandang bumasa sa tablet. Anyway, according to the Armed Forces of the Philippines, other countries to join Philippine-US maritime patrols. Ay, salamat. Aside from Japan and Australia, several other countries are willing to join the Philippines and the United States in patrolling the South China Sea, according to the AFP. So we do hope that they can have this in writing and supported by the Congress and the Senate. Okay, so that about wraps up our review of the Philippine Star front page. Please buy your own copy or subscribe to their online version of the Philippine Star and pakibasa naman po yung column ko Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays regarding politics, life, etc. Today in the Philippine Star, I wrote about the fact that the grass is greener on the other side. It's not, okay? Marami sa inyo, you think, oh, it would be nice to live in Holland, in Germany, in the US, New Zealand, etc. It's in the imagination, it might be perfect world. In reality, it's just like the Philippines. Okay, let's go for a quick break. When we return, we start our discussion, beginning with the DICT here on agenda.
Buying a new SIM card might be harder in the future. The Department of Information and Communications Technology, or DICT, is considering limiting SIM ownership. DICT Secretary Ivan John Uy said they might allow only up to 3 SIM cards per individual since the country has only 3 telcos: Smart, Globe, and Dito. If one wants a fourth SIM card, DICT said they're looking into the possibility of charging them a registration fee. These are all part of DICT's effort to combat mobile scammers, especially after recently the agency discovered over 28,000 SIM cards containing over 1 billion pesos, allegedly from online fraud. Let's discuss this more on today's agenda.
Okay, that introduction will be for our segment on the SIM card because I personally am quite concerned with that discovery of 28,000 SIM cards that were found in a POGO outlet. Now, my concern is that it has been determined that the illegal POGO outlets are not just conducting online gaming operations. Some of them, or a number of them, have been conducting love scams. Yeah? May in love ka, papadalin ka ng, sasabihan ka magpadala ng pera. Others are doing investment scams. And what I worry about is the possibility that these POGOs or these SIM cards found in those POGOs could also be used in elections. As you know, there is a coming barangay SK election, and what better situation to test the use of SIM cards, etc., for vote buying purposes. Dahil nadinig na po natin yan in the last election, maraming vote buying na nangyari sa iba-ibang lugar sa Pilipinas. So, we would like to keep tabs on what the DICT, the PNP, the NBI, etc., are doing to make sure that this particular technology is not used for vote buying. Medyo we are fed up. We are fed up with this. And also there is the issue of money laundering, because apparently those 28,000 SIM cards that were discovered, confiscated, the minimum, according to that news item I watched, the minimum in each SIM card, the lowest that was found loaded was 100,000. So if you have 28,000 SIM cards, ay naku po, billion ang tatakbuhan natin. So what is going on? We need to understand, how are these SIM cards being used? How did one company get hold of 28,000 SIM cards when we Filipinos are being regulated but through documentation regarding the number of SIM cards we can have? So, but right now we will have to hold on that. We are trying to contact Undersecretary Alexander Ramos of the DICT. He was supposed to be first guest for today, but apparently he cannot be reached. Ironic, tiga DICT, hindi natin ma-reach. Anyway, let's go to the next topic, Gab. But first, let's go take a break and set things up properly. We'll be right back here on Agenda.
Becoming an industrial engineer is a well-known job in the Philippines, but what exactly does an IE do? For starters, industrial engineers are professionals who specialize in optimizing various systems and processes. In a country like the Philippines, industrial engineers contribute to streamlining operations, fostering innovation, and attracting investments. Various industries like agriculture, cybersecurity, or even just business per se all benefit from industrial engineering measures. Let's find out more how IE can help resolve the country's woes on today's agenda.
Engineers Jerry Lim and Rodel Adiviso are two leaders of the Philippine Institute of Industrial Engineers, or PIIE. Lim, president of the PIIE, is also the newly elected president of the Chamber of Commerce and Industry of Valenzuela. PIIE founding chairman Adiviso, meanwhile, is also president of the Philippine Chamber of Industrial Estates and Ecozones.
Good morning, gentlemen. Welcome to the program agenda, and thank you for joining us.
Morning. Yeah, good morning. Good morning, Cito. Great to be here.
Okay, let me start with Jerry. Jerry, you're the incoming president. I think you've held that position in the past. Am I correct?
Yeah, actually, I'm the current president. I assumed this role way back 2018, 5 years ago.
Okay, now how active are the practitioners of industrial engineering in the Philippines? First of all, is it a big population? Are there a lot of practicing professionals, and are they based in the Philippines? Because the impression is a lot of IEs have left the country in the past for greener pastures.
Yeah, I guess no, like in other profession, a lot of our people here are seeking greater opportunities elsewhere. But I think in terms of numbers, I think the industrial engineer people, I think are smaller with compares to the other may mga licensed na engineering fields like mechanical or civil. But I really cannot have or say for sure because I don't have the numbers. But in terms of like when you ask around and the interest being generated, I think the IEs are smaller compared to like civil, electrical, or mechanical. I think that they're quite a bit small.
Okay, now Engineer Adiviso, what exactly, how would you define an industrial engineer? Because when Jerry mentioned mechanical, civil, I thought civil and industrial are the same. Can you differentiate for those of us who don't understand the distinctions?
In industrial engineering, we have this mantra, okay? There is always a better way of doing things. In Japanese, they call it kaizen, continuous improvement. Okay, so basically that's the mantra of industrial engineers, wherein we actually specialize in optimizing efficiency and making sure that we can maximize productivity in a sustainable manner. You can think of us as an architect of efficiency in the business world, okay, in any organization. So we try to improve the process, create the systems, and hopefully we would be able to achieve the end objective of maximizing productivity in the manner consistent with the vision and mission of the company.
Okay, could you give us an example where the opinion or the inputs of a industrial engineer is actually crucial or plays a big role? Because we see a lot of infrastructure, a lot of technology, industries, etc. But walang stampad walang nagsasabing brought to you or created by or designed by an IE.
Yeah. Imagine this, Cito. I will give you an example of an IE work from the menial all the way to the complex. And try to imagine afterwards how this would help government if you can mobilize the IEs. Okay, You go to a fast food restaurant, you see McDonald's and how efficient they are. They
Mm.
use the method of time and motion study to compute and avoid bottlenecks to ensure that once it's cooked, it's served still hot. Okay, now we go to a more complex factory, no? Wherein you would start talking to coming out with the processes and machinery, okay, doing from one workstation to another, ensuring that there will be no traffic in between. Otherwise, goods will pile up from one workstation to another. We look at them to balance the line, optimize, and try to reduce waste. Okay, now we go to a higher undertaking like maybe infrastructure or science and technology, wherein Secretary Babe Simpson was appointed as DPWH and trying to simplify all the papers in order to facilitate project execution. You talk about DOST Secretary Fortunato de la Peña in the helm of DOST, wherein he also executed a lot of projects. They are both in government, they're all IEs. No? Secretary Robredo was appointed as DILG. No? So these are some of the things that we do, not only in private, also in government. You talk about Tim Cook of Apple. He's now heading Apple and he's running it and making a lot of profit. You talk about Henry Ford of mass production. All the Ford Motor at the time, okay, trying to make it efficient so that it will be something that will generate a lot of jobs. You talk about Lee Iacocca of Chrysler. So here we have the former IFC country manager. It's a banking institution. You would see IE heading that one. You talk about Unilever. That's an IE being headed by an IE.
So an IE or industrial engineer is not just, someone who designs bridges, trains, or highways. It's more of process, someone who designs the system, as the introduction pointed out. Now, Jerry, how popular are IEs in the business world? Because you always hear of mechanical engineers, electrical engineers, but I don't think that industrial engineers are given their fair share of recognition.
Yeah, that's the point, Cito. Because when we have mechanical engineers or people who design things, you can put a stamp on it. They have like this licensure because you got to have a certain standard. So IE kasi, it's a principle. It's about studying a system, improving it. Yung sabi nga ni kasama ko si Odi, it's about doing things better, trying to improve a certain system. So there's really no stamp of ownership in it. It's just that we're here to solve problems, no? And to just make things better. So yan ang, so ang ano dyan is that people are not, the IEs are silently working in the background. And when things get better, I mean, they're not properly being recognized. And so that's actually why there's really the licensure is really no need, because ang ano sa amin is that we are here studying systems and discard ba. And iba-ibang ano yan, iba-ibang approach yan. So really there's no like standardization for that.
Okay, is it safe to say that being IE is not popular? Being the IE in the organization does not make you popular, because you would be the one who has to first point out the flaw in the system or the design, Jerry?
Yeah, I think sometimes yung IE, and usually sila yung mga kontrabida, because our mantra really is that how do we make? I mean, there's got to be a better way. We just don't accept a certain practice, a certain culture. We always go in and say there's got to be a better way. We can do more with less. Yan yung prinsipyo ng mga IE, doing more with less. So we go in a company, even like a company who's been around for 50 years, 60 years and making money, and we can go in and try to see how we can do things a bit more better so that we can, the bottom line be a lot better, something like that.
Okay, Odi, is it? Engineer Adiviso, your nickname, Odi?
Yeah, Audi, yeah.
Odi, I'm just curious, when are all IEs called in? Because I'm often called in for crisis management or to just kind of go through an organization and tell the CEO, pare, ito yung mga weak area mo, ito yung mga sablay dyan sa organization mo. But, unlike you guys, I don't carry a title. But the more I talk to you, the more I realize that I'm more aligned to the IE. Now, when are IEs called in into an organization? Before hell happens or after hell happens?
That's a good point, Cito. We were in Cebu last month and held oath taking for our new certified industrial engineers and professional industrial engineers. That's why we can now be called engineers. Because we are now having the certification program, okay, at least to test our basic competencies. Now, we should be proactive, that's one, before the crisis should happen. There's a hospital in Cebu wherein they employed IE, hospital, healthcare. And whenever there's a problem there down in the turnover, layout and everything, they say, IEhan na yan. So what does it mean? It's like a stamp of approval wherein when you say IEhan na yan, apply the most efficient, cost-effective way of doing things to avoid any problem in that area of activity where they encounter complex situations. Okay, so do we need to be certified? I went to this factory in Davao wherein I saw a layout when they started encroaching from one workstation to another.
Mm.
It really defies an efficient production line. But because it was not stamped by an IE, so maybe the flow process was not clearly defined. No? So, crisis, we should be able to respond quickly by making sure that there's a system of protocol to ensure that we'll be able to respond accordingly, apply the necessary undertaking. What's the beauty of IE is because we were able to translate the technical jargons of engineers to a management insight that we can immediately secure decision making right away, primarily because of that kind of ability.
Yeah. So as it turns out, if an IE could actually help a mega family corporation. It can help a mega church. It can help media giant, etc. You have a lot of areas that you can apply because just the other day I stumbled into over dinner. I was talking to a pastor and I said, all of you grew up in this one church. And all of you, of course, naturally feel that you have an inheritance. You own part of the building and none of you do. So I guess that's where guys like you, IE, come in where, teka, this is an organization, not a family corporation. And even family corporations need professionals to come in, Jerry.
Yeah, talagang ano lang yan. Because in everything that we do, there is system, no? So that's where IEs come in. They try to see how we can do things better, how we can align things better, so that everything will work out, fluid, smoothly, and as we move forward, we try to adapt to certain changes. We try to spot what things can be pwede pang baguhin.
Mhm.
It's a never ending journey towards excellence. Yan yung talagang mindset ng
Pero
the
is there,
pursuit of
meron bang areas na IEhan na yan And may areas na hindi pwede ang IE dyan. Hindi namin area yan. That is not what we were trained for. Odi.
Definitely, when you start building a building or infrastructure, you need civil engineers to compute the structural integrity of that building or facilities or infrastructure. But the IE would be able to put the control measures, no? Would be able to build how much should be recovered, the recovery of that based on the time value of money, in
Mhm.
order for the management to make the proper decisions. Okay. Some may be so focused on the integrity of the building. We are focused probably on how it can be done cost effectively, sustainable, and with the recovery targeted by management. It could be 10 years recovery, 5 years recovery, with the proper internal rate of return, net present value, wherein capital budgeting is applied, the financial performance of that project. So we do those things, the viability and diagnostics. So we may not be proficient in other fields, but you can assure that we should be part of so many things.
Yeah, no, like let's say we mentioned in the intro video in agriculture. Now, is it limited to the technology part of agriculture, or is IE like you mentioned, Babe Singson? You mentioned the DOST Secretary de la Peña. Was I correct? De la Peña. What about Department of Agriculture? Dapat bang lagay dyan IE, PhD in IE or Masters in IE instead of someone who who graduated from UP Los Baños, etc.?
Not necessarily. Look at this point. Systems improvement, productivity improvement. Uh, if you look at those in the agro processing, there's an entire supply chain. Talk about supply chain, that's the core competency of IE. From farm harvest all the way to the table. How you can make those delivery cost effective, which we are suffering right now. The cost of rice may be higher, but if we could reduce the other sources of cost, like logistics, probably would be able to reduce the price of rice. Probably the food coming from Baguio all the way down, if you apply proper caring of the handling of the food, then maybe the cost of that deterioration of the food will be less. As thus, it will be both mutually beneficial to the logistics company, the consumer, and the farmer. So we can be used in practically in so many aspects, not only in the manufacturing, that is the misconception, but we can also be in other forms like agri and services, so healthcare, banks. Okay, when you see the banks queuing people there, how long would you wait? But now you can do actually the queuing method of IE in order to avoid that.
So as it turns out, where there is waste, where there are losses, or there are missed profits or opportunities, that is those are the areas that company bosses should think about. Maybe IE-han na natin yan. But Jerry, speaking of IEs, how is the field of industrial engineering at the moment? Do we have enough good schools to maintain the population? B, is there enough work for IE graduates here in the C? Baka naman kailangan ng maraming math dyan, pare, hindi na ako pwede.
Well, that's a very subjective din. Pero I really believe that there's always room for a bigger because our world is expanding in so many ways, and lahat ng mga bagay they have systems in it, and as we say that everything can be improved. So with regards to the schools, I think we have a lot of schools here that are very good, and that can accommodate more students to take this along this route, no? And opportunities, there are vast opportunities for IEs. Like nabanggit na ng kasama ko, lahat ng bagay halos pwede mong IE-han. From banks to hospitals, even right now the digitalization, no, that's happening because we are relying heavily more on data, and that's the number one job. Some engineering fields, I think IEs are the one who deals most with data, analyzing data, and from analyzing those data gathering, we can make better choices, better decisions, and from there we can spot the losses, the flaws in the system, and try to improve.
Okay, Jerry, we'll go for a quick break. When we come back, I'd like to get back to you regarding all that issue about cybersecurity, data, etc. Because even in Europe, my daughter's professors were pointing out that if you guys are really looking for good employment opportunities and career and benefits, you should go into data. Learning data, etc. We'll go for a quick break, gentlemen. When we return, we'll continue our discussion with our industrial engineer godfathers on the program. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the program agenda, your program, and we are speaking with the godfathers of the industrial engineers in the Philippines, none other than Mr. Jerry Lim and Rodel Adiviso of the Philippine Institute of Industrial Engineers, or PIIE. Jerry, first thing that I'd like to get off the table. Sino ang mga sikat? Who are the well-known popular industrial engineers in the Philippines? Because, that seems to be what attracts young people to a certain field when they find someone they idol or who are champions, etc. Sino mga sikat? Maliban sa inyong dalawa ni Odi, sino ang sikat sa industrial engineering?
Well, Cito, hindi naman tayo magkakaproblema sa privacy law, no? Well, dito sa Pilipinas, I mean, Secretary Dave Singson is an IT, as mentioned by Odi, and our good friend, former DOST Secretary Dave Fortunato de la Peña. My friend Ernest Koo of Globe is an IE. Eric Recto, no? The president of Alpha Land, and Odi, help out with.
Yup. Unilever General Manager. No?
Yeah.
Yes, from UP. She was a former dean of engineering. Dr. Rose Seva, researcher, acknowledged researcher in the world. Dr. Anthony Chu, Vicentico, running the supply chain of plastic parts of Toyota, where they manufacture even the bumper.
Of Toyota.
Yeah, the bumper of Toyota is now being manufactured here, and one of our colleague, now member of the board and former president, is doing that. No? So if you see all the way there, we are doing a lot of things in agro processing. The general manager of coconut manufacturing of Century is actually an IE,
Mhm.
Noel. Then Rose Seva from LaSalle, they're doing a lot of researches as well.
Okay. So there are a lot of well-known people and some secret success stories who are just hiding in their offices but making a huge impact on the Philippine economy and even in the world. Now, what about the benefits of being an IE? Cost versus profit, 'di ba? Yan ang sinabi mo kanina, Odi, cost versus profit. What is the cost to become an IE, both financial and otherwise, versus in relation to the profit of becoming an IE, gentlemen?
Okay, so I forgot to mention Mark Ovedo, the VP of Adamson University, no, it's also an IE running the university. Okay, so in terms of cost, Jerry, I hope you don't mind. I will answer this one, and then the cost of going into industrial engineering is very, very much rewarding. No? In terms of going through it, one, you will not be able to find any more difficulty in pursuing your master's degree, primarily because the IE practically uh, replicate many aspects of taking your master's. No? So
Mhm.
you will be so attuned, no, with how you will take further degrees. No? So you're prepared for it, ika nga. And the course is just going to the university, really taking, understanding the math. You can't get away with that, definitely. You will do a lot of some technical and complex problem solving skills, no? Operations research, no? Challenging. Then combining that with accounting, Cito,
Mhm.
were exciting, no? So there's three accounting subjects that will the basics, the cost accounting, and the management accounting of it. Then
You know, Odi, thank you for bringing that up. Ladies and gentlemen, although kinakapos na tayo sa oras, I just want to emphasize, I went through life hating math. I disliked accounting. And now I am the one doing the math and doing the accounting for our expenses, for our plans, etc., for the farm, etc. As small as it is, you will never get away from accounting and from math, beginning with your household expenses. So tanggapin nyo na, embrace it, and just make do with it. Anyway, Jerry, Odi, Jerry, I'll have to make this one the last question. I understand you have an event coming up in October, and I'd like to give you this last few minutes to at least share and inform our viewers what that event is.
Yeah, come October 27, the PIIE will be celebrating its 25th year anniversary. So I think this is pretty much a great milestone for us IEs. And I'm hoping that all our colleagues there will look forward to it, celebrate with us as we hope to see you guys there and try to look forward as we embrace the coming many years as because I think with the ever changing trend ng lifestyle natin, the digitalization, all these things, the AI is becoming more relevant than ever. So I hope you guys will be one with us, and as we celebrate our 25th anniversary. Or you might want to add anything.
Okay, that's going to happen on October 27. The Philippine Institute of Industrial Engineers will celebrate the 25th founding anniversary, their 18th plenary congress, and the 9th research conference at the New World Hotel. So, gentlemen, Odi, Jerry, thank you for joining us today and giving a little light, or at least increasing our understanding on the very, very important and multiple contributions of industrial engineers in our daily lives. Maraming salamat sa inyo. God bless both of you.
Salamat, Cito.
Thank you, Cito. Very nice.
Okay, those are attorney and engineer, the godfathers of PIIE, Jerry Lim and Rodel Adiviso. Let's now go to our blessing for the week. Our declaration comes from the book of Proverbs, chapter 22, verse 4. It is a reminder, especially doon sa mga matatapang nating politiko, those who are in official positions, who have been publicly attacking each other. Please be reminded, the reward for humility and fear of the Lord is riches and honor in life. You are not going to get rich. You will not be honored for berating, attacking, insulting each other. And please act appropriately as public officials. And even for those of you in private life, remember that from the book of Proverbs. I'm Cito Beltran, thanking you, humbly asking you, please include Team Agenda in your prayers. And I do hope you have a good week ahead of you. Please keep it here on One News.